The building contractor has a major role to play still in the coordination and management of all the different off-site manufacturing elements that might be employed as a result of a client's decisions. From a main contractor's perspective, MMC will demand a new approach to management, coordination, a huge amount of time to be spent at pre-construction design stage so that they actually understand what decisions are being made, that they can actually drive the decisions to ensure that design is frozen so that there are no risks later on in the project. From a manufacturer's perspective, the model is not simply a traditional model where someone provides them with a parent design, asks them to go off and consider how their product might fit that. It's really important that there's proper engagement by the design team and the client of the off-site manufacturers to allow their business model to work. They need to appreciate the financing requirements, the bonding requirements, the certification, the sign-off, the audit, the control. The model demands a novel approach. It's simply a matter of using a number of processes that we perhaps use already for the likes of timber frame, for the likes of precast concrete, and it can be adapted to quite easily, but everyone needs to be involved. There needs to be a really collaborative effort.
Another factor that I think will really help in the adoption of MMC in Ireland, we see it a lot now in schools. A lot of schools are being manufactured by modular off-site construction. It's also coming into the housing sector, and again, as government embrace this and show exemplary projects, the private sector will follow suit.
We need to see clients, whether in the private sector or the public sector, make collective decisions. They need to be able to say, well, here on a standardised basis for hotels, for residential, for education projects, for health sector projects, this is what we believe the four corners of a standardised unit could look like. We can effectively develop off that platform, and we can modularize and we can develop our own bespoke requirements beyond that. But for the bulk of our projects, this is what the four corners of our off-site manufacturing units are going to require. A standardised approach from clients, and I believe that can be done quite easily enough if we have a number of the large developers talking to each other. Also, the government itself is the biggest client in the country, so they should be able to say, well, this is what we're going to demand.
I think a guaranteed pipeline is one of the factors that is holding back the development and the expansion of modular methods of construction in Ireland, particularly off-site construction. You have to have a sight line on your pipeline going forward for months or even years to ensure that your factory is continually running. The industry is getting to that stage, but it just isn't quite there yet.
I think one factor is the remaining availability of traditional skills, and perhaps the fact that traditional block and brick cavity work can still be seen as cheaper and still be seen as easily, readily available. But I think we're reaching a point where that question of availability of resources for those traditional skill sets is certainly coming to a pinch point.
In the last 2 to 3 years, we've seen a lot of growth in off-site modular construction in the housing sector. I think the construction industry in Ireland is starting to recognise what off-site construction and what modular construction has to offer in delivering the housing that we so badly need in this country.
I think what you will see more providers coming into the space. You'll probably see more corporate level investors moving into the space, whether it's large developers themselves acquiring off-site manufacturing companies or perhaps setting up off-site manufacturing companies to feed their own supply chain. I think you're going to see strategic partnerships in cold rolled structural steel solutions, concrete and timber frame industries also gearing up and providing much more advanced solutions for multiple subsectors of the economy.